Whew, I like that entrance. I like that intro. Hey, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Trinidad channel. I'm really excited about today. It's a wonderful, beautiful day outside. I know there's a lot of people outside enjoying themselves, and a couple of people told me they're out golfing today, and it's a great day to do that. So, hey, if you're here, I really want to thank you for being here. We're going to give a little bit of time for people to be able to tune in. I know there are quite a few people that were very excited about today's announcement. What I'm going to do right now is just kind of give a quick understanding of what it is we're going to do here. We have a huge announcement, and this announcement is definitely towards these first responders, these police, fire, military, and EMT. You know, there are a lot of first responders for a lot of different situations. You know, in this COVID pandemic that we're, experienced over the last few months, we definitely have to think about our nurses and our doctors. There's a lot of those first responders that are putting their lives on the line. So without a doubt, they are included in this wide span of first responders. But in particular, from my personal experience as a policeman and former military, first responders has always been like police, fire, military, and EMT. So that's what this announcement's for. But it's not just for them. It's also for anyone who is a family member of a first responder, anyone that has a friend that's a first responder. What we're about to announce today is going to be unbelievably important to those individuals. And so whatever you take from today, you're going to be able to share that with them, and I'm super excited. So to start off with, I want to go ahead and introduce myself. I am Trinidad. My first name is Raphael, but everybody calls me Trini. And hey, I was a United States Air Force veteran, got out, became a police officer, 23 years in law enforcement. I served, in the military. I was in supply, so I was always in the rear with the gear, but it was definitely an important position in the military. Served overseas, Desert Storm, and ended up getting out, becoming a police officer. 23 years in law enforcement. Worked in patrol, worked on SWAT, and then ended up being a robbery detective. I ended up getting out here just a couple of months ago. I am a 2-time cancer survivor. I'm very excited about that. One of the things that's important to know as we move forward is, some of the statistics that I'm kind of facing according to the American Cancer Society, but we'll get into that later. I am a franchise business owner. I have a company called EMT'z. It's a crime and trauma scene cleaning company. And I also am a nonprofit founder, which is a nonprofit called Shields for Kids. So, hey, before we get started, I want to say thank you to Ruben. Hey, Ruben. Very nice. All the way from California, man. Thank you so much for tuning in. And Daniel Lord, I appreciate it. It's a fireman out there holding down the fort while this whole COVID thing is going on. James Burnett, Joyce Ramirez, Avi, of course, Dee Dee, Selena, Jesse, Andy. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. So, hey, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get this show on the road. I want to go ahead and start by making sure you guys know that I do have a YouTube channel, and it's going to be very important coming in later. We're going to post the link in the description here, but it's very important to know about this YouTube channel because that's how you're going to be able to stay updated with everything that's going on with this announcement. Plus, somewhere along the line during this broadcast, we got a really cool announcement outside of the announcement. So it's going to be pretty neat. I think you're going to really like it. It's pretty high speed, and it's very unique, and you will have a chance to win it if you follow some directions. So we'll see how that goes. All right. So what I want to do is I want to be able to invite some of our guests. First, we have a fireman. This fireman I've known throughout the years. We compete together in first responder softball. And, this guy is one of those guys that's always willing to do anything for anyone. I know within the department, he does a lot on the San Antonio Fire Department. I was honored by him during an exhibition match for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. And hey, Michael Manahano, what's going on, brother? And he honored me with a jersey. It was a SAFD jersey, and it was a really huge honor because he was recognizing me for the person that I am. And one thing I really appreciate about that is that it really gives you a sense of that you're living your life the right way. And so it was a great honor. So that being said, I introduce Casey Doman. Casey, what's going on, brother?
How's it going, Trini?
Good, man. Good. I'm very happy.
Can you hear me?
Yep, I got you. Can you hear me?
I can.
Excellent, man. Well, I'll tell you what. Cool part about this is it's our first StreamYard video, and we've got Carly working behind the scenes. Carly, you want to show yourself? There you go. So Carly helps to run our Shields for Kids office, and she's in the background helping me run this thing so I can concentrate on the content. So
yes, sir.
See you here in a few.
Yes, sir.
So we got Casey Doman, 13-year veteran of the fire department. Next on our list is we've got a guy who is one of those dudes that's always there for you when you need him. You don't even have to finish asking a question like you're requesting something from him. He's like, I'm there. And his famous saying is, you go, I go. So he's a cool dude, spent a lot of time in the military, and really helps out a lot with everything that we do with Shields for Kids, our tournaments, any event that we have, golf tournament for Shields for Kids, he's there. And that's Moses Tovar. Moses, what's going on, brother?
Hey. Oh, just another day in La La Land. First of all, I'd like to say I appreciate this the opportunity, and I'm truly honored that you've allowed me to be a part of this. So all you got to do is tell me what you need me to do, and I'll get it done for you.
I appreciate that, Moses, man. Thank you very much. I'm excited.
Yes.
Excited to have you
Yes,
here,
sir.
man. Thanks for taking the time. Dwayne Killian, what's going on, brother? Manny Reyes, George Bonilla. All right. Elliot, Jesse, Trevino, Arturo Garcia, man. Thank you guys very much for coming out and joining us today. Next on our list is a guy that has spent quite a bit of time also in the military. Has some really unique positions that he's held in the military, and then also when he got out and worked on the civilian end, but doing what he did in the military. It's a very unique history, and he's come to work with us at Biotech's, and I'm extremely happy to have him. One of the things about this dude is his experience has not made him untouchable, if you will. I mean, he has a lot of experience, but he's still down to earth, and is a really, really good guy. So I'm excited to have Andy Parada. Come on in, Andy. What's going on, man?
Hey, Trini. Hey, brother.
Right.
Listen, just again, just to kind of echo what Moses said, what an honor to be a part of this with you, to be out there and sharing this with all the first responders that are out there. Really grateful. You have no idea how much this means to me. Thank you, brother.
Very cool, man. Yeah, I appreciate you taking the time also, man. So, hey, we're gonna that's who our guests are for today, and we got this big announcement coming up. We're going to get to that here in just a second. So, one of the things I want to be able to do is just stress something to everybody that's tuning in. Paul Worley, thanks for joining in, man. Daniel McIntyre, I appreciate it, brother. Man, got a lot of people from all over the place. That's cool, man. Cool to see. This thing is going to be huge. What we're about to announce, and you're saying, all right, man, get to it already. It's 5:10. I tuned in. It's Sunday. I'm getting to it. Here's what I'll tell you. What we're about to do is we're about to change some lives, man. This is going to be very unique in that what we're about to do for these first responders. The main focus is going to be giving these guys, how do I say it, a way of thinking outside of their own way of thinking to help them accomplish and overcome these difficult times that can come their way. It's extremely important. And with that being said, I'd like to go ahead and I would like to announce with can I get my guest back in here?
This guy.
All right. All right. I'm going to, well, you know what? Before I announce that, check this out, everybody on here. We're going to give you some very direct instructions, and you're going to have an opportunity. I'm going to get this part out there right now. You're going to have an opportunity to win this. Check it out. Courtney, what's going on? Thanks for joining us. Hold on.
A new car.
This is from a very special collection of mine, and I'm pumped. Just to make sure everybody knows, if they listen to this, it shows that it's empty.
Clearing the chamber.
Yeah.
Making sure you understand it. There is nobody downrange.
Holy freaking moly.
I don't know if y'all can see that or not.
Yeah.
That, my friends, is a Kriss Vector. It's a 45, and it is unbelievably unique.
Freaking sweet.
It's extremely unique. It's not something you're going to find very often. And you're going to get in. Look at everybody's faces out there. They're excited about this thing.
I'm not excluded, right? I can win it. I'm not excluded.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. And anyone can win it. Again, we're going to go through the instructions on how to get this done. But I'm going to tell you right now, man, it's going to be really neat. In fact, I'll probably end up taking it to the range and demoing it. But you'll get a new one. You don't have to worry. So this one's mine. There are many like it, but this one's mine.
This one is mine. Yeah.
So I'll show that again later. But all right, so it's time. We are getting ready to host an unbelievable conference called the International Keepers of the Peace First Responders Conference. It's going to be taking place on April the 12th through the 14th here in the beautiful San Antonio, Texas. It is in Trinidad is my personal brand. I'm going to be presenting this conference in conjunction with Shields for Kids, which is our nonprofit. And then Shields for Kids is going to be benefiting from the raffle and a few other items and a few other events that we have going on during this conference. So it's awesome. And basically what this is, man, is we're providing a badass conference with badass breakout sessions for police, fire, military, and EMT'z. And I'm telling you, when I talk about a badass conference, 23 years worth of law enforcement, 4 years in the Air Force. I've never been to a conference like what is about to happen here. This conference is going to be taking place at the beautiful Hyatt Regency downtown off the Riverwalk. So, guys, I'm going to have you back here shortly. At this Hyatt Regency down at the Riverwalk, it is connected to the Riverwalk. So it's an awesome event. This is going to be all taking place downtown. It's going to be the first day will be a general session. It'll be there at the hotel and inside the hotel. So you don't have to worry about having to go to different locations or anything like that. The second day is going to end up being breakout sessions. So we're going to have a ton of neat subject matters. We're going to go through those here shortly, but I'll give you a little bit of a hint. This conference is not typical. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to use what we call edutainment. It's education while being entertaining. So we're talking about things like having a bodybuilding, an exhibition bodybuilding contest as one of our fun get-togethers after the first day of the conference is taking place. You go to your room, take a shower, hopefully some of y'all, and end up coming back out and have this exhibition bodybuilding contest. So it's going to be really neat. We're going to end up having breakout sessions. And we're talking about breakout sessions that they're spanning all types of areas. We're talking first responders who say, you know what, I've always thought about owning a business. And I want to start a business as a police officer, as a fireman, military, EMT. And man, I just don't know how to take that first step, or that fear and anxiety is overcoming me and I'm afraid to make that move. We're going to have a breakout session on Business 101 where it's going to talk about, LLC versus S Corp. We're going to talk about types of taxes. We're going to talk about all kinds of things when it comes to business. We have breakout sessions like, for instance, health and fitness is very important. So we're going to have really cool breakout sessions with CrossFit. Everybody's into CrossFit. It's a huge thing. So you'll have like a beginner's CrossFit breakout, intermediate CrossFit breakout, then you'll have an advanced CrossFit breakout if you're interested in like in competing and everything that goes with that. It's just a bunch of really unique breakout sessions that'll take place in the hotel. The second day of the conference is going to be breakout sessions, and like we just talked about, third day will be breakout sessions outside of the hotel. So now what that means is it's going to be, for instance, on our flyer, if you can bring that flyer back up, you'll see our first breakout session that takes place outside of the hotel. That's the workout and shoot with the SAPD SWAT competition team. Couldn't fit competition in there, but that's who they are. These guys are freaking world renowned. They've won all types of competitions. And man, you get an opportunity to go out, work out with them, and shoot with them. And man, it's going to be something special. In fact, we got a little video that kind of is going to highlight what it is that they do. Now, I want to tell you before we go to this video, that third day that's outside of the hotel, which we'll have other things, I'll announce them here in just a second. But like, for instance, this is separate from your ticket. So you're going to have to register for this, and you're going to have to have a separate registration and pay separately from your conference ticket. But it is an offering that the conference has. So let's go ahead and roll this video. Y'all can take a look at what this is going to offer. I'm hyped. Now that was sweet. Let me see if I can get this thing going. Let's see here. All righty. There it is. There we go. Hey, told you it was our first one. I'll get back to it. Let's see if we can get this thing started now. Oh yeah, I like that music. All right. How was did the music stay on, Carly? No, there was no music, just video. Horrible. But I could tell you what we'll do is we'll make that thing happen here shortly. The music was tough. If you had heard me, if you had seen me, I was like this. Yeah, I didn't know my mic was muted, but that's all right. It's awesome music. We'll figure it out. We'll play it again. Point is you get an opportunity to go with these dudes and go to a range where it's going to be very unique with some very neat opportunities to shoot some reactive targets. So it's going to be really neat. And like I said, I mean, that's an example of a breakout session. But we have these first responders who are involved in everything. You know, we're talking about jiu-jitsu breakouts where we're going to have seminars where, you know, these first responders are going to be hosting these seminars for these jiu-jitsu breakout sessions. We're also going to have like a 5K, 10K. So if you're interested in running and on that third breakout day, you want to get out of the hotel and participate in one of these things, it'll be a great opportunity. So there's tons of great things to do, and you don't have to just be a first responder to get involved. I mean, we love having volunteers. The public is awesome with us as far as supporting us. And of course, you know, we're going to have sponsorship opportunities for those. This is their target audience. So being able to come out and have a vendor booth is going to be an awesome thing. But on that note, you know, we can get more into all of that, but we're really excited about this International Keepers of the Peace First Responders Conference. So if we can bring our guests back on. You know, some of the things that we're going to talk about, guys, is some of your experience. And the reason that that's important is because there are different aspects to this conference. It's not just the badass breakouts when it comes to all the bodybuilding or CrossFit or, you know, the business aspects. I mean, we're talking about even if a first responder is interested in starting a podcast, you know, we're going to have a breakout session on podcasts and YouTube, all kinds of really cool, unique things. And the great thing is we're timing this so that on the third day, on that breakout session, we've got Fiesta. Our biggest celebration in San Antonio is taking place. And as soon as our conference is over, first day of Fiesta kicks in. So trust me, guys, when I'm telling you, it's going to be wonderful to make it a conference, invite the family down, girlfriends, you know, all that kind of stuff. And bring them down, and then be able to, after the conference, enjoy, you know, our biggest celebration here in San Antonio. So, hey, first and foremost, I wanted to be able to talk to Andy. You know, give us a little bit of your background and you know, what it is that you think that this conference would do for somebody who's, you know, maybe had some experience like you, and you see what we are going to offer. What do you think of that one?
Hey, man. So my background, 20 years in the Army. I had the unique opportunity of coming in before 9/11 and just to pay back college, and then got wrapped up in everything that happened after 9/11. Also, my role was in human intelligence. So I had a chance to go through the experiment that DOD was going through at that point through human intelligence, be it interrogations and operations out in the field. I transitioned to the civilian world, and again, just kind of right place at the right time in every step. Went from you know, combat tour after combat tour, right into working with you know, the CIA and FBI and the Army's own intelligence units, special operations, the Rangers, and just was able to start ticking off everything on the sheet that makes you the best storyteller at the bar. The problem was, with every one of these experiences came the pressure of having to go through it and having to ensure that no one knew that any of this stuff was bothering you. And I can tell you that as we as a nation were going through each one of these wars, each one of these conflicts, that we were learning a lot about how to do things properly based off of how we were not doing things properly. And so this, being a part of that experience, kind of took my soul. And I really appreciate what you said at the beginning about how this doesn't define me, and it truly doesn't. That I had gone through a lot of issues myself to get to the point where I can sit here with you and have these discussions, to be able to talk to my family a lot and my friends a lot about some of the things that went on in the past, and just not have to have that big anchor around my neck. And what you're doing with the International Keepers of the Peace Conference is that you're giving us an avenue that we haven't had before. So what was great while we were active duty and in the civilian sector, and when you're around all your buddies to the left or right, whether it's the firehouse or in the ambulance with another EMT, with another paramedic, you've got that person right there to talk to, but you're limited with the resources. It's not that they're not helping you, but you're limited with the amount of people that have been in these situations and that know exactly what you're talking about. And what you're doing is you created an avenue for guys like me to be able to go to something like this and just meet hundreds, if not thousands, of other people who have gone through this and have a specific story to share, and be able to kind of meet me on the soul to soul level and be able to look me in the eye and say, dude, I know what you're going through because I was there personally. And while a lot of people have unique stories, not everybody can bring that to the table unless you get everybody in the room. So, dude, you don't know. I mean, I know you know because you were in that same position as me, but just the impact that you're making by being able to put something like this together, to bring all of us from all these communities together, man, I mean, this is something where I think it's not just an opportunity to get sweaty with the boys in the weight room and shoot some guns, even though I'm going to tell you I'm going to win that rifle, just to make sure everybody else in the room knows that. But I think this is going to be a very solid emotional time. And this is not a thing for people to be scared of. This is something for you to come into a large room full of men and women, and know that you're safe, that your vulnerabilities can be released, that you don't have to worry about what's going on in your six. You don't have to worry about who's covering your back, that you can come in and you can talk about the things you need to talk to. You can bring your family, and maybe this will be the first time that some guys or gals will be able to talk to their spouses about this in the first time. Like, I hope everyone else can see just the amount of concentric circles, the ripple effect that this is going to have in people's lives and in this community. Brother, I can't tell you how much that you doing something like this means to me, and I know this is going to affect everybody else.
Yeah, man. Very cool. Thank you. I know, of course, we have our team with Carly and Deanna that have been at this. We've been at this for quite a while now, and it's important because something you touched on is very important to me, and that's that camaraderie, that ability to be able to hang out with people who have an understanding of what it is to serve, what it is to not only serve, but also risk your life for something that is bigger than you, something that's that takes on a higher value. And for me, when I was serving in the military, it was always our freedoms, and when it came down to being a police officer, of course, that same thing with the freedoms, but it was also like defending people who maybe couldn't defend themselves. And that's always been me. And that's what I love about what it is that we're doing. So I really appreciate that perspective on it, Andy. Moses, what do you got? I mean, you were in the military also. What are your thoughts on this? Now, one thing I want to make sure that everybody understands is, I mean, we're going to have breakout sessions also, and some of these breakout sessions are going to include, some mental health things. There are a lot of us within this career field, in law enforcement, military, police, fire. We're so used to having answers for everyone. And we go out there day in and day out and we provide answers. We solve problems. But in the end, sometimes we get home and we don't know how to solve our own problems. And we're so used to having answers for everyone else. Sometimes we have not been able to, to figure out, how to think outside of our own way of thinking. So it's very important, and a personal goal of mine through this conference is to give these guys a way of thinking outside of their own way of thinking, like I mentioned before, to be able to handle some of these issues. Moses, what are your thoughts on, on this conference and what you've been on a part of a few of the meetings? What's something that you can relate to as far as what this conference is going to offer, and maybe some personal experiences you've had that you think that this will help?
So I can honestly tell you that in my military service, and then having worked in the corporate world now for, 15 years plus years, it's a totally different animal. And one of the things that was tough for me is coming off of my last deployment, and then all of a sudden, poof, you're a civilian, and having to slow everything down, slow your reaction, slow your mindset, and adjust it. I'm still wired that way after so many years. I still am. And never having this opportunity because it's all new, right? PTSD came out of nowhere. And hit everybody, slapped everybody in the face. And nobody really understood the impact of it, not only from an active duty military forward deployed perspective, but also from a first responder, because your mindset is different. Your approach to things are different. You're trained, and you train the way you fight, and you fight to live. And you not only fight to live for yourself, you fight to live for those around you, because it's a brotherhood, right? You're not necessarily doing it for yourself as much as you're doing it for the person next to you. So it's pretty courageous, and it's going to take a tremendous amount of courage, right? You're going to have to get out of your own way and realize that sometimes you're your own worst enemy. And the toughest thing for anyone to do is to communicate. But it's not just being able to communicate, because the majority of times we're talking to somebody rather than talking with somebody. And I can honestly tell you that we put up walls because of our nature. You know, it's not going to affect me. It's not going to impact me. I've been through so much, and I've done through so much, and it's just not going to affect me. And the reality of it is it does. It eats at you, and it takes little bites, and then the little bites become big bites, and before you know it, you're getting eaten up inside, and you have no way of being able to communicate to you, because you don't want to show weakness. You don't want to show weakness for those around you in your brotherhood. You don't want to show weakness at home, you know, because you're the man, right?
Yeah.
You're the guy that's supposed to have all the answers. You know, you can walk into a shitstorm and come out smelling like a rose, and you can face death. You know?
Absolutely.
And you can face all those things. And the reality of it is you're afraid to let that guard down, because you think it's going to be a sign of weakness, and someone is going to think lesser of you if you say, you know, I need to talk to someone. I need help with this. So it's a courageous move, Trini. I applaud you for it. I'm all in. Like I always say, you know, you go, we go, you go, I go. And whatever it is you need, this is realistically going to afford everyone the opportunity to be able to do something that they've never been able to do. And that's actually get in touch with that side of it. So I applaud you for your efforts.
Thank you, man. If you can bring Andy back on, one thing, and the reason I want to bring Andy back on is because we've had conversations, both of us, along with Moses. And here's one of those conversations is, you know, both of these guys are hardwired to go 100 miles an hour, and we understand we have a goal, got to take the hill, right? It doesn't matter if it's raining. You know, it's not going to be, you know, we don't know if the terrain is slippery. We don't, you know, we can't navigate around that hill. We've got to take that hill. And when you realize that is your objective, there is no arguing about, you know, well, who are you and what do you, I mean, it's like, all right, let's work as a team. Let's make this happen. We're used to structure. We're used to a chain of command. You can voice your opinion, but in the end, we respect that chain of command, and we just get it done. And being around like-minded people like that is awesome. The question is, can you turn that dial back down when you get home? See, one of the reasons that this is important to me, and one of the main focal points of this conference, is I want to help these first responders who are considering or going through such a low time in their life that suicide might end up being, you know, an answer. And I personally have had some low times in my life. I have had that consideration before. And, you know, I know that at the time I wasn't listening to people outside of my own way of thinking. And then I discovered people like Les Brown. I discovered people like Alan Watts. I mean, just people that helped me to process those emotions and process those ways of thinking that allowed me to take a different look. You know, hey, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change, right? And that was a big trick of mine that I learned over time that helped me to get out of those low spots. And I use it to this day. And I know of both of you guys love to go, but tell me, can that not affect your home life? You know, here you are surviving out there doing your thing, and then you go home, and the things that worked for you on the streets, the things that worked for you, you know, being deployed, they don't work anymore at home, because you can't rule with that iron fist. You've got to learn to be vulnerable. And Moses, that's what I liked about what you said. Do you guys find some similarities with that?
I do, definitely. And I got to take a deep breath before I start, because this is very personal to me. And this is the point of where, I mean, I'm not going to be able to stop talking about this conference. And I can't wait for this thing to go off, because it's going to be such an opportunity for others just to come and lay that weight down. And I tell you what, even if they only do it for the length of the time in the conference, In some people's lives, that's all they're going to need, is just that one moment of laying that weight down and having a brother or sister in arms come and put an arm around them and let them know that they're not fighting this alone. So I've done 7 combat tours in both my active duty and my civilian time. The one thing I struggled with the most was why I'm here right now, because you go through a moment where you're so convinced that you're not going to make it through it, that everything just becomes much easier to deal with. And the guys and gals who've been through combat, you understand that life is so much easier in combat. You don't have these things. We look around life and you may look at things like, menial or not really worth all the time and effort and all your passion and everything. It is normal life. It's what normal people deal with. And we have to look at ourselves as we're the abnormality in this, having gone through these circumstances, we're the ones that looking at things, not everybody else. And so it's up to us to work at getting those normal feelings back. But you look at these small things and you go through combat, you don't have to worry about the stock market. You don't have to worry about what's going on at the house, or if the car is running, or if your kids are getting to school on time, or what you're going to wear tomorrow. You're just looking to your left and right and making sure your barrel's pointed in the right direction. But that's the part where you come back. When you do this over and over and over again, like what Moses was talking about, you get into this mindset, you get into this rhythm that you've got all this under control. And if you can't reach out to somebody, if you can't get a hold of something that's reality or something that's solid, you will continue to go down this path of thinking you've got everything under control while everyone's looking around, everyone around you is looking at you, man, that dude or that gal's just out of control.
Yeah. And Andy, if you don't mind, Brad Johnson's tuning in. He's a part of our law enforcement softball circuit that we belong to. And Brad said, that we just had an officer commit suicide this morning. We need to find a way to stop the stigma. It's got to be a shift in thinking. It takes a stronger person to ask for help. And I think that's one of the, Brad, I'm very sorry to hear that, about our brother officer. The thing that for me, it hurts me every day that this conference hasn't taken place, because I truly know that we are going to help some people that are in this situation. And I truly believe that we are going to be able to help give them that different way of thinking. I know it, because we've got some badass speakers that we're talking about coming out. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going for the big ones. This is no joke when it comes to the investment in this conference. We're going for some big speakers, and I don't want to say anything just yet, but it's going to be awesome. I guarantee you're going to love it. Hey, on that note, let's bring Casey on. And Casey, you've been listening to what it is that we've been talking about, man. How, from a fireman's perspective, what is your what's your take on what this conference is, and how maybe a fireman might find some benefit out of this?
Trini, I can't hear you if you're talking to me.
Oh, okay. Let's see here. I don't know if Carly can work on that. Casey, can you hear me? All right. We'll see if Casey, let me know. We'll see if we can work that out. He might have us on mute and may not realize it. But I know that with firemen, hey, firemen got it made, man. I'm gonna tell you, if I had it all over again, I love being a policeman, but damn, those dudes have it made, man. And they all have extra jobs, and so I'm excited about anyone that is a first responder that has an existing business. It's going to be neat to be able to come out and to be able to learn how to grow your business, learn how to scale your business. Yeah. I mean, I'm excited about that, and hopefully Casey can hear me now, but no. Hey, we'll see if we can get Casey to give him a link and have him come back in and see if maybe we can change it, see if something will happen like that. Casey, we'll be right back. So on that note, let's talk about the fun stuff, right? Have you guys ever participated in any jiu-jitsu? Anything like that?
I'll let Moses answer first.
Yeah.
No. No. I ain't got time. If I have a weapon in my hand, I ain't got time to touch nobody. I'm going to reach out and touch you from afar. Why do I have to get up into your space?
You could hit him with that big mullet, the big old head of yours, and they'd probably be in some pretty big trouble.
Look, dude, don't hate.
Hey,
no, I think that's a typical Air Force answer. Is that no? They've never done jujitsu before,
Lord.
so that's fine.
Hey, somebody's got to draw the plans up.
That's for sure.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I
Casey.
had a chance. I'll let you see if Casey.
I can hear now.
All right, Casey.
Oh, perfect.
Hey, Andy, we'll come right back to you. But yes, we got you, man. Hey, Casey,
yes,
you've been listening in, and from a fireman's perspective, what do you think is something that a fireman might be able to relate to with what it is this conference is offering?
Well, I think everything that it's offering, we obviously can relate to, we can use. I think the difference is, I would guess police, military, you have the same issues we have with trust. If another fireman is giving me a seminar, giving me advice, I'm going to listen. If Joe, the plumber, is giving me advice, no offense to Joe, but I'm probably not going to listen to him. So I think this is a great opportunity to get around our peers, get around people we trust, get around like-minded people. And that will allow, like Moses says, allow that vulnerability, allow you to open up. Because the world problems can be solved around a firefighter kitchen table. It's just once we get outside of that table, we tend to put that shield up, whether it's with our family or whether with civilians, whatever it is. The trust just goes away. And I think this will allow it, as we'll be with our brothers.
Yeah, very cool. I love that point. And that's a big part of why, for instance, in order to attend the conference, and we're talking about the breakout sessions, the general sessions, you're going to be required to wear a lanyard. And that's how we're going to keep some of that security in there, to be able to have that comfort of like, okay, everybody that's in this conference is somebody that relates to me, that it's not something that I'm going to have to worry about, my sharing of things, everybody here. That's one of the cool things about this is, man, I'm excited. For instance, we're going to have a vendor of a company that can write a book for you from A to Z. And why that I'm excited about that is because how many stories are there? All of us live interesting lives. And can you imagine, man, all the stories that people have that they could turn into a book, that these people will be able to help them, create this book from beginning to end. And you really don't have to do anything but tell your story. They help you to put it together, help you to make it make sense. You definitely don't have to worry about punctuation, capitalization. They'll take care of that for you. So we're good. Moses, you're good. We can get even you a book. But it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to be able to, to have guys like that there. So, I mean, there's just so many unique aspects to this. But Casey, to your point, being able to share amongst family, because that's how I see this. Just giving you a quick background, because I know we're going to be wrapping it up here in just a little bit. And make sure you don't leave just yet, because I'm going to tell you how to register for this Kriss Vector. One of the things I want to tell you about is I do have my personal brand, and you'll see the logo on here, and you'll see it. You can find us on YouTube. We'll have a link again in the description, so that way you can click that link. What we're going to do is I'm going to show you real quickly how you do this. You're going to be able to click the link, subscribe. Then you're going to have a notification bell, and when you click that, you're going to have to hit that top notification bell. And it is that easy, but we'll run it back again one more time. Go to that Trinidad site, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and hit all on top. That way you're up to date with all the notifications that come out with this conference. We will be updating our Facebook page. We have a Facebook page that'll be created called the Keepers of the Peace First Responders Conference. As you see on the bottom, it's April the 12th through the 14th. You can check into the beautiful Hyatt Regency down on the Riverwalk on the 11th. On that 11th, the vendors will have an opportunity to show up early. So without a conference, without breakouts, you can head straight down there and check out all these vendors and what they've got to offer you. Then we turn around on the next 2 days. Those are in the hotel. And that third day, separate from your ticket, is all our breakout sessions outside of the hotel. So we have a link. I think Deanna just shared a link. You might want to click it because guess what? I'm not that known yet, but I intend to be. And one day you're going to be able to just enter my name and find me. But as of right now, just a little old me. So, I want to make sure we'll bring our guests back on it as we close up, and then I'll show you guys how to get to this, what the stipulations are with the entering for the opportunity to win that Kriss Vector. The one thing I want to do is make sure that with you guys on board as we're listening, I want you to know that even though I've been in the military, even though I've been a policeman, and this is for anyone that's out there listening, what I absolutely cherish you guys' contributions to our country, your service. I tell anybody, even though I'm a policeman, I thank policemen for their service. And I'll tell you, man, we live in the greatest nation in the world, and I am extremely proud to be a part of our U.S. military when I served, and of our law enforcement. These firemen, people do not understand what firemen. They think just fires, man. And unless you know, you don't see how much these guys help people. I mean, we're talking babies who are unconscious, whether it be in a pool, maybe in a household that's not the best, and these guys got to go in and they see that stuff, and they do more than what people can possibly. I can't imagine. I can forget, Casey, just recently when you guys were getting shot at. I mean, this wasn't too long ago that they were shooting at you guys, and I'm thinking everybody loves firemen. How the hell are they shooting at them? So I really respect what you guys do. And, my brother-in-law, Danny, he's a fireman, and I've heard the stories, man. And I just give you guys a lot of respect, a lot of appreciation for that. Andy, I know your extensive career. I know what you've done and what toll it took on you. We've had the fortunate opportunity to sit down and talk. And I'm really proud of the fact that you are working on yourself. I think that we all need self-awareness. Self-awareness is the key to everything. A good marriage, a career, anything. You've got to know what your strengths, your weaknesses are, what you're capable of, and you got to allow yourself to be vulnerable. And you're doing that right now. And I'm extremely, extremely proud of you for that. And I'm very happy that you're with us with Biotechs. Moses,
thanks,
that same note, man. I mean, dude, you never show any kind of like no pity for myself. Like you're never into the pity party for you. And man, your willingness to always go, your willingness to always help is what I love about you. Loyalty is a very big thing to me, and you're a very loyal person. And I really respect that about you. So, hey, any final words before I tell these guys how to win this rifle here?
I like to say,
I don't know what a fireman's going to do with that rifle, but Casey, you may just put that out to me.
That's what they're for, right?
Yeah.
They're not for New Year's Eve.
Yeah, exactly.
We never do that.
Straight up.
Yeah. Casey, any final words before you sign
San
out?
Antonio, yeah, for all these non-San Antonio people, you mentioned some guys from California. There is no place beautifuler in April than San Antonio and the Riverwalk. I promise you that. You will have a great weather and a great time, and Fiesta is amazing. So there will be more to San Antonio than just the conference. You will enjoy yourself. I promise you that.
Yeah, awesome, man. And I think that was one of the points of this. Make sure we make it a great destination, vacation kind of spot where you can come down for the conference, turn right around, and enjoy the biggest celebration we've got. So, Casey, we'll tune into you more later. We'll get you back on the show, but I appreciate your time, man. Thank you, Casey.
Thank you, sir.
All right,
thanks,
brother.
Trini.
All right, man. All right. Hey, Moses, any final words, any final party?
Let's do this, man.
Yeah.
It's long overdue, and I think it's the first of many. And what you're going to do is you're going to open they're going to open up doors for a lot of folks. To Andy's point, I mean, you don't go through what you go through and not carry the load. So to have somebody have the opportunity to put their pack down and feel secure enough to be able to do that, because I can guarantee you, as we're having this conversation, somebody is feeling it right now.
Yeah.
And some folks are still carrying this load, whether you're prime military or whether your first gig is coming out of high school. You graduate and all you've ever wanted to be is a cop, and you've been wanting to give back to your community, and now you're raising children and you're raising a family, right? You have to have this opportunity. You have to have this sanctuary. Everybody has to have this type of a release. Yeah. So again, I applaud you. I applaud you for this. This is a very courageous move. Ooh. And this is, no matter, Andy can tell you, no matter where you've gone in the world and what you've done, there's not been anything like this. This is unprecedented.
Yeah.
So whatever you need from me, man, let's go get it done.
Appreciate you, brother. Thank you, Moses. Appreciate your words,
yes,
and thank you for your help again. All right, Andy, down to you. Got any parting words?
No, I appreciate you saving the best for last. Trini, no, brother, you're going way out on a limb here, and it's like Moses said, there's a lot of gratitude for what you're doing. You're putting a lot of things on the line to make this happen, and you're going to be saving a lot of lives. I know you had a career full of affecting people up front and personal. But this is a way, if you want to talk about how a man can build a legacy, brother, I think you're doing this the exact right way. You're putting yourself out there, but you're going to be saving a lot of lives with this. I would just say my quick thing across the board is anybody who's having a difficult time right now, I know COVID isn't helping out, keeping you in the house, but anybody having a difficult time, a great man here just off to the side of the screen told me, just wait till tomorrow morning. If you can just wait till tomorrow morning and see that sun, you've got another day to go through this. You got another day to figure out an answer. You got another day for somebody else to get a hold of you. You got another day for somebody to call you and to work through this. There's going to be thousands of people that are going to help you work through this. We don't have to wait till the conference. You can do this right now. I got a lot of my buddies right now watching this. Guys like Josh, who I know is tuned into this, dear friend of mine and brother in arms who's gone through the same thing, a recipient of the Purple Heart. There's a lot of stuff on our shoulders. But these guys, you don't have to wait till this conference. You got buddies that are here. Trini, you're a dude that's always there, man. You're a dude that's always there. Here's a chance. You say a lot of people don't know you, bro, but you're wrong on that, man. A lot of people know you, and this is all this is gonna do is give you an avenue for people to see everything that you're doing, man. But people know you. But I appreciate you letting me be a part of this. What an honor. Thank you, brother. And you know this, man. Anything you got, man, I got your back.
Thank you very much, Andy. Appreciate your service again, man. Thanks for your time this Sunday.
Thanks,
yeah.
Bro.
So let me comment on a few of those things. I'll tell you about how to win this rifle. It's difficult for me to hear, maybe comments or accolades, but let me just get this out there and make it very clear. It's almost in a selfish way that I throw this conference. In 2016, I was diagnosed with kidney cancer, and I was able to make it through that, and very fortunate that it had not spread. The second bout came around in 2018, and that one wasn't as easy. A lot of tough decisions to make. Traditional medicine wouldn't work. Surgery was not going to work. And my only hope was radiation. And so we went through that. And to this point, hey, cancer's gone. So I'm extremely happy. But one of the things that I deal with is this statistic that's out there. And, it's a statistic with the American Cancer Society that talks about a less than 8% chance to live past 5 years if you've had a second bout with kidney cancer. I'm 2 years and 4 months into it. So I'm very sincere when I tell you that I am looking for as many ways as possible to maximize my day and to provide value for others. Coming up with this conference, I have no experience on throwing a conference. I've thrown a lot of events. I've thrown a lot of mini conferences, if you will, but never one for 600 to 1,000 first responders. Never one that has the commitment going down on the Riverwalk at the Hyatt Regency. That's just steps off the Riverwalk. That's a commitment. putting my name out on that line and not letting my fellow first responders down by something that I'm taking the lead on is extremely important to me. I value that. I didn't go all this time to have my reputation, go down the drain because of something that I say I'm going to provide and that I don't provide it. So you have my word that I will give everything I've got to this. I will provide edutainment. It will be educating. It will be entertaining. I guarantee you've never attended a conference like this. If you're a sponsor that supports first responders, if you're interested in having a vendor's booth or sponsoring some of these breakout sessions, please contact us. We'll have the details in the link. Please reach out. And for the final part, the one that maybe some of you guys are sticking around for, that is how to register for this beautiful. I always make sure before I handle it that it is empty. This beautiful bad boy, Kriss Vector. All right, Carly, can we show them how we want to make this happen? We are going to ask you to go to the Trinidad YouTube page. And that is the link again is going to be in there. Now, it's not just the subscription. It's not just the notification bell. It's also being able to comment on the page and to be able to share that page with at least 10 of your friends. Now, let me explain this because I want to make it very clear. It's not about the vanity aspect of it. It's how I'm going to be able to reach more people and to be able to positively affect more of these first responders. That's the reason we're doing this. Now, hey, I'm going to have a lot of different things going up on that channel. The purpose for my channel is to provide value, turning my struggles into a gift through my experiences in cancer, in business, and in service. That's my whole purpose for my brand. But in order to get people to be able to find me, I'm not even searchable right now, man. You got to follow the link. But in order to get people to find me, hey, this is a part of it. So this is YouTube. I do have a Facebook page, Trinidad. I do have a conference page that's going to start up. We should have our website, at least the first landing page, where you can find out how to get these tickets. We have 3 different tiers of tickets, but going back to how to win the rifle, go to YouTube, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you make sure you get all the updates. Comment on the page and share it with at least 10 people. That's what you need to do, and you'll be registered to win. So thank you guys so much for appearing on this Sunday to help us, support us, and to help us get the word out to these first responders, because it's going to be a great time along with being educating. So edutainment, that's the key. Thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate you.